Okay, so the way that you take these clips off, if you notice right here, there's like a little tab. It's locking this guy in, so you just go get your screwdriver right here. Don't go too hard, but just pull up on it. And you hear that little click? That means it's unlocked now. So now you can just push on this and pull this bad boy out. So just try this again. So the clip is not engaged, just push it back. And then same thing with this guy, just stick your screwdriver up on top. Don't pry too hard. Hear the click, and now push back. This is the first time I've taken these off, so these bad boys are tight. And there you go. And then there's a bunch of connectors, little clips here. Got this guy connected here. Remove this, and so now we got all the electrical disconnected. Okay, so next we're going to take off this return hose, and all you got to do this is to just get some needle nose pliers and pull up on these. You don't have to go hard at all. Really soft, gently pull up on this, and then these will come off. Let's see. You should just be able to pop them off, pull up on them. So once you pull the tab up, all you gotta do is just literally just pull them up with your hand, easy. Just give it a little twist, and come up. And yeah, there's gonna be some fuel in there. Just go gently. You don't have to go too hard. And I'm just gonna put it back on top of the injector so the fuel goes back in there, and then just pull up nice and easy. Let it sit there, drain for a little bit. Let the fuel drain. And we'll go from there and see what the next step is. Alright, so next is going to be these high pressure fuel lines, and I just marked them 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I marked these as well, 1, 2, 3, 4 from left to right. That way I put them back in the right spot. And I think maybe when I clean out the fuel injectors, I'm going to replace these hose lines. But the book says, the Volkswagen book says that you can reuse them. It's not a one-time use, as long as when you take them off you inspect them and you make sure that the surfaces are clean and the threads are not bad. You can actually reuse these lines, and that's coming from the Volkswagen book from the manufacturer. So you know, I've heard other people say otherwise, but you don't have to do all that. All right, because there's going to be fuel, I did grab some gloves, so I'm wearing some gloves, got some rags, and then you just need a 17mm open end wrench. Just loosen these up, and then we're going to take these hose lines out, and I just have them just staging them over here on my workbench. Get them out of the way, and then we'll go from there. Easy peasy. So to remove these bolts, these right here are your typical T30 hex sockets. So T30 for this, T30 up here. But then these are what are called triple square. And I would definitely recommend you investing, you know, 30 bucks on a set. You can get them on Amazon. And that'll fit in here and make sure that you don't strip anything. So triple square, just get them. Save yourself the agony. M8 for these. And then this guy right here, these are M10. Boom. So go buy these. Do yourself a favor. Alright, so to remove this plug, all you gotta do, there's like a little button right here. Push on this and then twist it to the left. See how you can see like it kind of unlocks, and then pull out. Don't be too hard on this because you don't want to break it. I feel like I'm gonna break it right now. So just pull this to the left. What the fuck? Right there. Easy peasy. With bolt back there. I'm gonna get that one too. All right, plot twist. In order to get this fuel rail off, so you can get this off, you gotta loosen up this hose right here. You're gonna get some fuel out there, pull that off so you can take this off and get it out of the way. FYI. All right, so once you got all the bolts loosened up or taken out, you wanna take these fuel injectors out. And I recommend that you get this guy. It's just a puller. I got it on Amazon, super cheap. I think it was like $20. And you just basically put it in the fuel injector and then you pop it out. It's super easy and it's definitely worth it. So you don't grab it from the top here from the plastic and pull it out. Watch, and I'll show you how it works. So you just screw it on, probably like 3 or 4 threads, and then you just pop up nice and easy, and then boom, that's it. And it's better than pulling on the top here trying to pull it off. You know, and this tool cost maybe, I think it was like 20 bucks on Amazon. So all in all, you're gonna spend, I'll do the tally, but I didn't spend more than $200 on this job. And to do it at the dealership would cost you at least $1,000. So definitely save money doing it yourself. All right, so I got the fuel injectors out, and as you can see, it looks pretty shitty. So definitely this job was well overdue. So now I'm going to take this valve cover off, clean it up, and replace the grommets and the seal. I'm going to clean up as much as I can and show you the next step. Okay, so the cover doesn't want to come off because this guy's in the way. So I got to just take this hose off so I can take this rail off and pull it back, because this is just blocking it from coming out. And then I had to take this cover and push it back a little bit. So there's these clips. There's one clip right here and then another clip right here. Undo the clips, push this back, and then now the valve cover will come out, but you have to get this out of the way. I'm gonna pull this hose off, and then that should be able to allow me to pull this back. Okay, so I had to pull this rail off just to get it off completely, and now it's all off. It's gonna clean the surface of this really good. Look at this guy, this thing is filthy. So I'm gonna clean this all up, put the new grommets and the seals on there. I'll clean up these fuel injectors, and next week I'm gonna take them apart and actually clean them. I'm not gonna do that today. I'm gonna replace these seals. I'm gonna replace the washers, the copper washers, but next week. I'm not doing that today because I don't have the washers. So for now I'm just gonna focus on this guy. So I'm gonna take all this off, clean it up really well, and then put a new seal on there, slap it back on, and show you what I do next. Okay, to get these grommets out, it's a little harder than I had anticipated because they're made of hard plastic. So what I ended up doing was using one of these and just kind of grabbing it from back here, because this is hard plastic right here and you don't want to damage the surface of the valve cover. So like, I think I kind of scratch it right here. Just use this guy, peel back here, and just pull up on it. It's hard for me to do with the camera, but went back here, pulled up, and they pop right out. Okay, so they're all out. Some of them ripped. I ripped them trying to get them out. So basically, got all 4 out. Plastic didn't get damaged. So I'm just gonna get some degreaser. I'm gonna spray this, clean this all down. These are gonna stay. This is for the bolts to hold them down. So you don't want to take those out. Then I'm just gonna go through and clean all this. Make sure that this is all clean. And I'm just gonna use some degreaser to clean it all. I'm not sure exactly if I should get any degreaser in here, so I'm gonna kind of avoid that. And I'm just basically gonna focus on the cover, clean all this so that it looks nice and good. Clean this out really well and degrease all this stuff. And then I'm gonna put the gaskets back on and go from there. Okay, so I got the surface clean, but when I looked inside here, there's crud inside the port where the fuel injectors go, at least in just 3 of them. So what I'm gonna do is, you can see the dirt in there, in here. Some crap got in there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my vacuum, put it like a little hose on there so I can suck all that stuff out, and then put a really clean rag down there just to clean up, because I don't want there to be any I want there to be nice flat surface for it to sit on. So that's next. And then I just came over here and I cleaned up all the fuel injectors. Like I said, I'm not gonna change these O-rings out right now because I'm actually gonna clean these next week. So I'm gonna take these all out. That's when I'll replace these, and I'll replace these copper washers. I already have the O-rings, I just forgot to buy the copper washer. That's why I'm not doing it today. So I'm just kind of wiping these down, getting them clean. The fuel lines, I just cleaned them up. Made sure that these surfaces were not nicked, and the threads were all good on here, which they are. So you should be able to reuse them according to Volkswagen, according to the book. I cleaned up the bolts and everything, and then I will put on the new gasket. We'll put on the new gasket and the little grommets. But first, I'm going to clean up I'm going to clean up inside of here, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. So check it out. I got this little hose, and I duct taped it to the end of my vacuum. And believe it or not, this is freaking airtight right here. There's no air coming out of here. It's all the suction's coming out of there. So I'm just gonna stick that down inside of there, suck up all that dirt, and then I'm gonna clean it up with a rag. So yeah, look, pretty simple, completely sealed, and it should suck everything up. All right, this worked like a charm. As you can see, it's pretty clean in there. Look at that. Boom. Sucked everything up. Sucked everything up down there. Worked great. Now I'm literally just gonna get like a rag and go slide it down in there just to clean that port. But we should have a nice clean surface for the fuel injectors, and good to go. All right, so it's dry. So like I said, I made sure I cleaned all this, the grooves. Now I'm just gonna put the gasket on and slap this bad, put the grommets on, flip it over, put the grommets on, and then excuse me, put this bad back on. Okay, these grommets just get pushed on very easy. Doesn't take that much pressure. Just push it down, make sure it's flat. Check this part back here, make sure it's flat, and we got a good seal. That's it. Slap these bad boys on. Like I said, it doesn't take that much pressure. Just push it down. The other ones were difficult to take off because they were already hard. They weren't soft like these. So got a nice clean surface, and they look good down here. We got a nice seal down here, and then now we're going to slap this on, and then of course got to make sure that this doesn't move when we put it back on. Got to make sure that this is flush when we put it back onto the engine. So that might be a little hard, but just be patient and don't tighten it down until you know for sure that this is sitting nice and flat. Once you get that gasket on, it stays on as long as you don't smack this thing when you're putting it on. So as long as you have everything out of the way, when you put the gasket on this and you move it into place, move the valve cover into place, it shouldn't move. The gasket's not gonna fall off. So as far as I can tell, everything looks like it's on. Look at that freaking grease, dirt down here, oil, dirty. But as far as I can tell, everything's on there. It's nice and flat. And so now I'm just gonna put the bolt on, but I'm just gonna do it hand tight, and then do it in a star pattern. And then can't forget to put these steel chingaderas in there. Okay, so I put the valve cover back on, and I tightened up the bolts in the star pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put this back on. Put this clip back on back here. Put this hose. Clip this hose back on. Ran these lines. Connected them right here. On this guy, connected it right here. Got to get this wire stuck in here. And then next thing I did was run this rail back inside. I'm gonna bolt that down first, and then I'll clip this on and connect those hoses. All right, so I got all the fuel lines connected. Don't forget to tighten this one back on. You're gonna have a fuel everywhere if you don't. Got this clip back on, this hose back on. I got to tighten that one. And then the main thing is I got the fuel injectors on, and you can feel it when you put it down. If you wiggle a little bit, it'll sink right in, like there's a notch in there. So you want to make sure that they're all in the little notch. And then this is going to get torqued down to 20 Newton meters. So just use a torque wrench. You don't want to get shitty on it. You don't want to go real hard on it, because you will break. You will shear off the bolt or break something, and then you're gonna have problems. So I got everything down. I got the fuel lines back, and I definitely recommend getting one of these. It's a socket for the fuel lines. It helps you get in there, so you don't have to do anything crazy to get to install them, and you won't damage any other fuel lines. So I'll definitely get this tool. I think it was like 15 bucks on Amazon. And then I gotta figure out what the torque is. I gotta check the book real quick. 28 foot-pounds for these. And then of course, once you run this bad boy, you're gonna come out here and check and make sure they don't leak. And if they leak, tighten them up a little bit more. And then for these, basically all you gotta do is, when you put them back in, twist them a little bit while you're pushing down. Push them, twist it a little bit while you're pushing down. Don't put too much pressure, and then they'll pop right in. And then you can push this down. But don't push this down until you feel that the whole assembly goes inside. So push it in there, wiggle it like this, and as you're pushing down, and you'll feel it pop in. Once it pops in, this will go down easy. So wiggle, wiggle, find the sweet spot while you're pushing down, boom, then push this tab in, good to go. This is all put back together. I'm gonna prime it. So I'm gonna go inside and just push the start button. I'm not gonna start it. I'm not gonna crank it. Let it prime, get all the fuel. I'm gonna come back out here just to see if there's any fuel leaking anywhere. And then I'm gonna have someone else start the car for me so that I can be out here and check if there's leaks. Here we go. Yeah, go ahead, start it. Just checking for leaks. All right, stop. Try it again. Fuel needed to prime a little bit. So now we just gotta check for leaks. So far, no fuel leaks. We want to check the oil leaks around the gasket. So far, so good. Good in the hood. All right, hit the gas, rev it fast. Hit the gas. You want to run it at high idle. Step on it. All the way. Hey, my baby cried. So far, so good. So far, so good. There's no oil leaks. There's no fuel leaks. And there's no error codes. So I just got to run it at high idle to make sure that there are no fuel leaks, because the last thing I want to do is to take this on the drive. Don't hit the gas and there's freaking fuel flying everywhere. That would not be good. So I'm gonna get someone else to help me run the engine at high idle, and hopefully we're good. But right now, that's pretty much it. Hope this video helped, and if it did, let me know, man. Give me a like, subscribe, give me some comments. As far as I'm concerned, this job came out perfect. So, hell yeah.